All right, let's talk about the weather forecast, at least for right now. It's been a beautiful stretch of days, but we are going to be breaking that streak.
Look, Ma, no hands, roller coaster ride, right?
I know we're going to be off. We're just going to be sailing away here.
Right.
Let's talk about the forecast Northeast Ohio for the next several days here. We begin with tomorrow. We talk about showers and storms returning in the afternoon. Gusty winds also coming in tow with that frontal boundary arriving for us tomorrow. Gusts exceeding 30 miles per hour. Daytime high temperatures soaring well above average yet again into the mid 70s. So we're kind of hanging out in the 60s right now. A pair of 6s down in Carroll County and Carrollton. Upper 50s for Ravenna. Low 60s for Ashtabula. How about this, Jefferson? You're about 64 degrees with 1 degree warmer in Norwalk and 67 for Mansfield as well as Ashland. We've had a few pop-up showers, even a couple of thunderstorms that moved through earlier this afternoon into the evening. Certainly over in Portage County, they had a flood advisory there, courtesy of an earlier downpour that happened in that area. So it was kind of a sail that kind of parked itself over there for about an hour or so and really caused some snares. As far as rainfall right now, we're very much so in the clear, but our next frontal boundary is still off towards the north and west, crawling slowly into our area shortly after the noon hour tomorrow. Now behind that is going to be very cold temperatures, and by very I mean we're going to have temperatures back into the 30s for overnight lows, Sunday night into Monday, and certainly by Monday heading in towards Tuesday. Winter weather advisories already posted for Minnesota, stretching all the way back over in towards Wisconsin. Wind advisories back towards Iowa, and thunderstorm watches, even severe thunderstorm warnings have been bubbling up all across Illinois, stretching south towards Tennessee, Kentucky, as well as northern Mississippi. So that cold air is still about a day or so away. That'll arrive sometime on Monday evening into the overnight hours. This is the frontal boundary. It is carving its path through the central plains, heading into the Midwest, and bringing with it a few more inches I should say, of rainfall, anywhere from a third to a fourth to half an inch, and even some areas getting up above 6/10 of an inch. So again, not an all-out washout, but certainly is going to be adding a bit more rainfall here, and I think the spring flowers enjoy that as well. A couple isolated pop-ups overnight tonight. Upper 50s, and I mean likely mid to upper 50s, 58 degrees and even warmer. Some areas kind of hanging out at about 62 degrees or so. So that spread is going to be very fine out overnight tonight, roughly about 4 or 5 degrees spread. So temperatures tomorrow, as I said before, we're going to go back into the 70s. We're going to pop in the mid 70s here and then cruise back down. Once the frontal boundary arrives, you'll experience those gusts of wind. High temperatures tomorrow around 80 degrees in some parts, mid to upper 70s in other parts. And I think we'll stay markedly cooler in our western areas because we'll have more cloud cover leading towards that frontal boundary. So we don't have a whole lot of clouds to talk about along and also east, because that frontal boundary is going to be starting out in the west. Here's your National Design Mark forecast for you. You can see we have a rain-cooled atmosphere along the lake showers. You can see there throughout the morning hours, we're going back into the 60s. A south wind will be performing roughly 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll pop into the 70s, some areas making it to 80 degrees. 1, 2, 3 p.m., we start to increase the rain shower activity, and it could be steady in some areas, moderate to heavy rainfall, and certainly bringing with it some thunderous clouds coming on with that as well. Into the evening hours we go. Temperatures calm down. We have a west-northwest breeze, and then you guessed it, we'll likely have a bit of rain snow mixing on in, and that will be the theme of Monday. High temperatures on Monday remaining in the mid to low 40s and eventually moving back into the 30s Monday night heading in towards Tuesday. This will mainly be a rain mixed with snow type of event. Little to no accumulation. I think even in the primary snowbelt region, if we get some accumulations, it'll be roughly around an inch, maybe less than an inch there. By Tuesday night heading into Wednesday, still in the 30s we go, but also adding with it some frost waking up on Wednesday morning. So here's the bigger picture as far as the rain chances are concerned. Look at that trough digging all the way down through Mississippi, and you know that cold air is riding right along with that. We'll keep the snow confined to Wisconsin, even northern Illinois, maybe even the Chicagoland getting a little bit of snow. But that low is pulling away. By Tuesday, we have a little bit of frost mixing on in by Wednesday, but then sunshine returns by the latter of Wednesday afternoon. So mid-60s expected in your Union Home Mortgage 10-day outlook for Wednesday. Back in the 70s we go for Thursday, and we cruise back down into the 60s and eventually 50s heading in towards the weekend with some rain chances riding right on in. But I think at least for the last full week of April, I will say, Lena, it's not going to be all too bad.